Someone recently asked me to speak about miracles that I've seen, and I would like to do that, okay? Because since learning this technique, I've seen a few miracles, and the very first miracle was the way I got the technique when my father just decided to have a spontaneous remission of brain cancer and lung cancer because we were talking about God and light and love and Jesus and stuff, and he just, boom. And that's what it started, but I've had a few nice miracles since. I'd like to share a few because some of the folks asked me to. My fiance, once upon a time, was very ill, and she woke up just in terrible pain and all doubled over, and I was all worried about her, and I was trying to practice some kind of healing techniques and hands-on healing or doing this, that, and the other thing, all this intellectual stuff I'd read about or studied about, Reiki and whatnot, trying all this stuff. And then the voice of reason shouted in my head, "Get her to the emergency room, you moron." So it's like, okay, all right. So I took her down there, and she had to wait in absolute pain for too long. And they got her into a room, and I was in there with her, and she was just doubled up, just couldn't function in any way, shape, or form. And while sitting there with her, and I was pretty overwrought with this, seeing somebody in that much pain, I heard on the other side of the curtain they were bringing a lady in who was apparently having a heart attack or something, but also in dire straits. And there's a lot of energy going on here, on the other side of the curtain, right? And my sweetheart is in absolute agony, and the doctors come in and they look at her and said, "We can't figure out what's wrong here. We're going to just do an exploratory surgery and, cut you open and see what's going on." And at that point, something snapped in me, and I thought, man, I got to do something, and I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. So I just did the Bliss technique, and I just plugged in and surrendered. And I just went up into the light like we do when we do this. And I felt this presence of people behind me in a semicircle that were very high vibrating beings, like masters. And they were saying, "We want you to do this. We want you to learn how to heal. This is good. We like it. Do it. Be the healing. Open yourself for it." And I was getting 220 volts coming through the top of my head, more energy than ever before with the Bliss technique, and that's all I was doing. I was just kind of tripping out on it. It was so much energy, and then there was this presence behind me. And then all of a sudden I hear a sound, and it's the door opening with the surgeon coming in, and my sweetheart is sitting up at the same moment saying, "Wow, I feel better, I feel okay." And I'm kind of in shock. I think tears are running down my face because I've been in some kind of ecstatic communication with the divine. And they're checking her out and saying, "Wow, that's unusual." And she's like, "Yeah, I just feel better. I don't know what's going on." And on the other side of the curtain, I'm hearing some activity where somebody's coming in that room, and that lady is also saying, I just don't feel bad anymore. It seems like it went away, whatever it was. And they're all checking her out, and my sweetheart's fine, and I'm in shock because this is the first time I'd ever seen anything like that. I'm not really a saint or anything, so I had to leave the room because I was crying and kind of freaking out, and I know it was insane. I walked across the street to the 7-Eleven and bought a cigar and smoked it over a garbage can, because I needed to come back down to earth. And I don't smoke, okay? This was so stupid. I was just totally shook up and freaked out. It was like the first real miracle I'd ever seen like that. I just tried to smoke a cigar to get grounded or something. Said forget that, and went back, and she was fine and the other people were fine, and then I was fine, sort of fine. Although I felt like every molecule in my body had been rearranged, and everything was just handled. It was just done. It was a miracle, but I wasn't vibrating that high, so I cried for about a week after that. Randomly, just cried, as if that light that had come in had had shattered a bunch of my old junk that was in my emotional body. And just randomly, for a week, I would just lay down and cry for an hour. And it was worth every bit of it. But somebody asked me to share the miracle stories. So thanks for listening to that. If you like it, click like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And that story is just really dear to my heart, okay? Thank you for requesting those miracle stories.